What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday to you. Welcome into Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Joey Peterson, and on today's episode, we're going to be looking at some Ravens trade rumors. The NFL trade deadline, only 4 days away, next Tuesday, November 5th, and I've seen some rumors circulating, both on Twitter, just online from places like The Athletic, SB Nation, and we are going to talk about it on today's show. Can't wait for this trade deadline. Still think the Ravens are going to make a move. Kind of hope the Ravens do make a move, and that's why you clicked, because you hope they make a move as well. Now, I am self-producing today, so if you see my eyes dart down, if you see my attention go away, that's why. But regardless, welcome in. So happy that you guys are here. We're 4 days away from the trade deadline. If you want the Ravens to make a move, and I think you do, I want you to like this video. Okay, let's send a message to Eric Decosta, John Harbaugh, the entire front office that, hey, we want change, we want something added, and we want the Ravens to take advantage of this window that they are in right now. So if you want to make a move, go ahead and like the video for me. We start with our possible trade targets and start with number one. Familiar face. We already have talked about him on the channel, but, judging by the comment section, I think people want to keep talking about him because it's Budda Baker, safety out of the Arizona Cardinals. And, man, I think he would be an absolute asset to this Ravens defense, to this Ravens secondary, because he has been for his entire career. Dianna Russini of The Athletic had this to say about Budda Baker. Now, she did come out with this article just a day before the trade against Diontae Johnson went down, but we'll kind of talk about that after this. This is what she had to say. Ravens add safety Budda Baker, sending 2025 third and fifth round picks to Arizona. Baltimore should gain 4 compensatory draft picks for 2025, giving them plenty of assets. Baker offers a massive upgrade, and if the 28-year-old impending free agent signs elsewhere after the season, the Ravens could recoup yet another compensatory draft pick. So, obviously, she has it wrong there because she wrote this before the trade for Diontae Johnson went down, but I just changed out the 25 fifth-round pick to a 6th-round pick. So this is what the trade would look like. Now, do I know if they would take a 6th-round pick and not a 5th-round pick as well as that 3rd round? No, I don't. But, guys, I'd be fine dealing a 3rd, a 6th, and 7th. Or maybe, I don't know, you're giving away a lot of assets. But, guys, this is in the middle of this Super Bowl window. And we've seen this secondary struggle all year long, okay? You're not going to have the guys you have on this team forever. They're going to need to get paid. They're going to go elsewhere. Right now, you have Derrick Henry, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Zay Flowers still on a rookie contract. Now you added Diontae Johnson. You got Isaiah Likely still on a rookie contract. You have so many pieces, so you have to capitalize. But if this were the trade, a 2025 3rd-round pick and a 2025 6th-round pick, would you accept this, okay? If you think yes, give me an A in the comment section down below. And if you wouldn't accept it, go ahead and give me a D. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video, so YouTube's about to throw you an ad break. Go ahead, find this in the comment section, and reply with an A or a D. I would do this in a heartbeat. I really would. I mentioned it just before we asked you guys that question, but this is a guy, Budda Baker, that would change the way that this defense operates. Plain and simple, okay? And this defense, speaking of, is operating not in a very good way right now, okay? I showed you this graphic yesterday. I don't care. I'm going to keep showing it to you until I see some change. Yards per game, 291.4 passing yards per game. That's last in the NFL. Yards per pass, they are 27th. Pass percentage, 66.1. They're 31st. Yards after catch, they've all led up over 1,100 yards after the catch. That's 29th in the National Football League. And yards after catch over expected, meaning yards after catch more than they thought they would let up or they were supposed to let up. They have let up 178 yards more than they should have, okay? So this secondary, guys, to put it lightly, isn't good. They are struggling. Their best category in all those is 27th best in the NFL. That's not good enough, okay? And if you look at the PFF ranks, it shows you a little bit more, right? It shows you exactly what you saw in those stats. Because 2 of your safeties are graded in the bottom 11 safeties in the National Football League. Eddie Jackson, 75th. Marcus Williams, 76th out of 85. And then you look at Budda Baker, he's top 25. He's a top 25 safety in this league. Now, Kyle Hamilton's up there as well. I believe if my memory serves me correct, Kyle Hamilton's rated the 14th best safety in the NFL. So if you paired Kyle Hamilton and Budda Baker together to be the 14th and the 23rd, you'd have two top 25 safeties on your roster. And that's what this pass defense needs, is just a little bit of a bump. And let's look at their coverage rankings, right? Because just their overall grades, it brings in a lot. Their overall ranks brings in a lot, like a pass rush and things like that aren't necessarily always like the best, I don't know, the best metrics for grading safeties. But if you just look at their coverage grades, which is what safeties are supposed to do, is cover the football. Yeah, they're supposed to make tackles as well, but we saw Eddie Jackson get burned enough on Sunday against the Browns that we know the primary thing we need these safeties to do is cover, and they just haven't been doing that well. Eddie Jackson, 48.3 PFF grade. Marcus Williams, 46.8 coverage grade. And then you look at Budda Baker, 65.7. Okay, again, not like that's going to be like anything just like far and above the best covering safety in the world, but guys, he gives you an almost 20-point upgrade. And I just think he could provide the spark that this defense needs, okay? To me right now, this defense, in a way, is sparkless, okay? You look at the way they're playing, it looks like they're playing uninspired football. Now, that might be because of their defensive coordinator. I don't know, okay? And the pass rush needs help as well. We're going to get to that with our second trade target. But they're playing uninspired football right now, and I think the addition of Budda Baker could change that in a heartbeat. I think it could change it just the way he leads teams, the way he just demands perfection and demands just that dog mentality out of a defense that it looks like it's missing right now in the Ravens. I think he could change this team in a matter of seconds. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. This is Ravens Rundown. If this is your first time, running into us, we give you daily Ravens videos, breaking news coverage. Like just on Tuesday, when that trade came down, we had a video to you 35 minutes later. We do weekly watch parties. I'll be live for every single game this season. The best part about it, it's all 100% free. So join the 21,000 plus Ravens fans that we have rocking with us right here on Ravens Rundown. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button. I got to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Game Time. If you're excited the season's here and it's under full swing and you want to get tickets to the big game lockdown, I promise you're going to want to give Game Time a shot. Game Time has a new feature. It's called Game Time Picks, and that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which is the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the highest seat value in the venue. Guys, there's so many things I love about Game Time, right? I love the last minute tickets and flash deals. I love the lowest price guarantee, but far and away, my favorite feature is the views from your seats. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a sporting event and there's just been something blocking my view. Whether it's a pole, whether it's a railing, extended press box, whatever it is, well, that doesn't happen with Game Time because you get to see exactly what you'll be seeing from your seat before you even buy the ticket. So take the guesswork out of Game Time, download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, my second trade target of this video is going to be Azeez Ojulari. I personally would put him on the all-NFL name team. I think he's got a great name in him. But let's talk about just what he does as a pass rusher, because what he's been able to do so far in 2024 for the New York Football Giants has been phenomenal, right? If you look at the stat sheet, 24 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 7 quarterback hits. Now, Justin Mello of SB Nation had this to say about the possibility of Ojulari joining Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens have signaled their aggression intentions by acquiring wide receiver Diontae Johnson. Ojulari would strengthen a strength for the Ravens defense that's totaled 24 sacks to date. A struggling secondary appreciates every pass rushing effort from the front seven. Now, let's talk about that pass rushing effort, right, from this front seven. Because while they've looked good in the stat sheet, there are some other metrics that aren't too hot, and maybe is a look into why this secondary might be struggling. Because when you look at quarterback pressure rate, the Baltimore Ravens have pressured quarterbacks on 29.7% of their dropbacks. That is 25th in the National Football League. And quarterbacks, on average, have 3 seconds flat time to throw. And that is 31st in the NFL. So while this defense is tallying up sack numbers, while they're tallying up quarterback hits and things like that, when they're not sacking the quarterback, they're not necessarily pressuring him, which tells you good things. When they do pressure him, they're good at getting him to the ground, but when they're not getting him to the ground, they're not really pressuring him, right? And we all know that a good secondary starts up front, okay? A really good secondary, a lot of times, benefits from having a really good pass rush or a really good front seven, okay? And the Giants are kind of a good picture of that. They don't have that great of a secondary when it's term of just guys, horses they've got in the stable, guys they've got at safety and corner. I would argue, I know it's crazy to argue this, but I would argue that the Ravens actually have better secondary players than the Giants do, but their pass rush has just been so dominant that it's kind of made up for it, right? If you just look at their edge rushers, Azeez Ojulari isn't even one of their starters. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, those guys are having absolute monster seasons as well. And then you got Dexter Lawrence on the interior to worry about as well. And so that's why, in my opinion, this actually makes a lot of sense, okay? Because the money that the Giants will owe, guys like Dexter Lawrence II, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, in the next couple of years, guys, it's a lot, okay? And I don't know if they have the assets or the wherewithal to say, hey, I want to spend X% of our salary cap, which would be a big percentage on 4 edge rushers. Now, it is a very important position. Yes, I get that. But they've got to pay those guys a lot of money. And I think they're cutting off one of those 4. I think it's going to be Azeez Ojulari. Or at least I hope it's Azeez Ojulari. And so now if I'm Eric Decosta, if I'm John Harbaugh, I'm looking at this and looking at their situation and saying, guys, we can go get one of these guys. We can go get Ojulari because they might be willing to get him off of their books just because the money that they would owe him because of the season that he's been having, okay? And so the secondary's not cutting it. This defense as a whole is not cutting it. So you got to add some people, okay? So that's why I think you add Budda Baker, make a swing possibly for him, and maybe make a swing for Azeez Ojulari as well, okay? These are the 2 guys we talked about. Which of these 2 would you rather have? Would you rather have a pass rusher or would you rather have a safety? I personally obviously would love both. I wouldn't be upset with both, but if I had to pick one out of the 2, I think I'm going with Budda Baker. But you guys let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for joining us today on Ravens Rundown. We will be here every single day for the next rest of the season. So make sure you guys stick by the channel because the trade deadline's coming on Tuesday. Going to be an exciting time. And I'll be right here to break it down for every single one of y'all.